Okay, go.
So in the beginning of your solo career, hitting those 10K months was your initial goal, right?
So I never was a true solo. I purchased a spa that I worked at. And when I say 10K months, it was my direct numbers, because when I first started there, my commission was only off my numbers, not the team. And so yes, hitting those, it was essentially the 10K just for me, correct? But I want to be full disclosure that I did work at a spa with other estheticians. I just ended up buying out one of the owners and becoming one of the owners there fairly quickly. But I was able to hit those 10K months even when I was an employee there, and my commissions were solely based off of my numbers only.
Yeah, absolutely. For you, setting that 10K goal, like I feel like that's a really common thing for us as estheticians, even going solo or first starting out in our own salon ownership. Like 10K months is like the goal. Like what happens when you hit those 10K months, 6, 7, 8 months in a row, and you're like, okay, now we need to scale higher. Like what was your next step?
So I really believe in kind of setting energetic minimums for yourself of where your financial goals are for your business. And this is such an important topic. And thank you for asking this question. I'm actually in my mastermind group right now. This month, we're talking totally about this, because it's really important. Not only are you hitting 10K months, but you're really separating what's a 10K month just in business, and then what's a 10K month of you actually generating profits of 10K after you cover your expenses. So those are two very different numbers. You can generate 10K, but if your overhead's 5 or 6, or, depending on your business, what your rent is, what your cost is for your supplies, if you've purchased any equipment. So that's a different number than you actually bringing home 10K. Yeah. So I believe in kind of setting this minimum, and I like to really break it down into smaller numbers where you're breaking it down into weekly or even daily minimums. And that helps you to see how achievable it is to bring in 10K. It really is, like when I do the math with my girls, they're like, wow, like that's nothing. Like I could totally get, 80 clients a month and be making over 10K. So it's something that's so attainable. So once you hit that, and especially when you hit it where you're making profits of that amount, then you can look at building out team. You can look at raising your prices, adding on to the services you offer. Like for example, I'm wearing our XO8 eye masks today because it's so windy out here and I have allergies. But these are a great way just to add value for my clients, and then they always purchase the retail. So things like that, where you're able to take what you're already doing that is working, and take it to the next level where your clients see more of a result. And then in addition to that, you can build out your team. So there's a lot of moves you can make once you're sustainable at that 10K, and then grow beyond that and be hitting, multi 6-figure years and beyond.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And for solo, even if you don't want to build out a team, that's where I'd really look at what services you're offering. What are you generating per hour? So what dollars per hour are you generating, and seeing where you can increase that, because that's where you're going to get to the next level and, hit 15K months, or, depending on what your goals are, you can go even beyond that for sure.
What are you currently generating?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Well, I personally generate between 12 and 15 for my aesthetics business. I do have a full e-commerce platform as well. So not only am I taking clients, but I do have online sales as well. So for my aesthetics business, I fluctuate between 12 and 15 on average every month.
Good for you. And what's your next goal? Are you looking to build out a team, or are you looking to stay solo and just get to the next point, get to 20K months?
I'm at the point to where I also own another business that is taking off. It's very successful. So I'm looking at bringing in somebody to take over my position and doing services, so that I can step away from doing services, because that's not where my time is most valued at this moment.
For me, and I love that. And that's actually, pretty much where I'm at now. I only go into my treatment room 2 days a month. So yeah. I've built out, I have, my lead esthetician has taken on pretty much my full clientele, and, she's doing incredible with that. And then I am kind of in the situation you're in, where I'm able to focus on other things, but still have my hand in that business. It's still it's still generating revenue for me, but in addition, I'm able to watch my team be successful and watch them build, kind of their empire within my business. So it's an awesome thing to bring somebody on and be able to coach them through and watch them build as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I have space that I rent out as well. So that's another added bonus in having your own, brick and mortar or your own salon. So that's helpful always to the overhead, essentially. Keeping my overhead low and making my expenditures consistent every month has been helpful during the last year and a half of business with my own space.
Good for you. And that's so key, is really knowing your numbers, knowing what you're spending, keeping it consistent. It's not always gonna be exactly the same every month on product purchases and retail, but keeping it fairly consistent and knowing what that average is. So you really know where you stand, week by week in your profits, and not just how much money you're actually generating, but how much money you're making. So it sounds like you're doing all of that so well, and that's incredible. And I look forward to hearing about you building out your team and really focusing on, it sounds like you have multiple businesses, which is so important these days. I truly believe in having multiple streams of income. And even within the skincare field, that's something that we can do. So I love that.
Exactly. Right on.
I feel like you guys would make such a good pair, because what you're trying to do, Jessica has done. She comes to California. That's where her treatment base. So you probably only need to pop in once a month for your clients,
Yeah, I just fly in literally every 4 weeks. I fly in Friday morning and I come home Saturday afternoon, and it works super well. It's, I get to see my kids both Friday and Saturday, so I don't feel like I'm missing that time, but I get to go in and make, I bring in probably $2,500 minimum in that day and a half and fly back. And it's a really great feeling to see my team, cater lunch for them, get to see my clients, my top clients who I adore. I've been seeing them for 10, 12, 14 years, depending on the person. So you know how that is, Athena. You build relationships with people, and there's certain people I still love to really go see. And really my team, that connection with them once a month is so crucial on keeping the business running, even though I'm in another state. So it works out really well.
Yeah, that's crazy. Running and operating. That's another thing that is posing not a threat to my business, I wouldn't say, but a challenge that I may have to, tackle this year, because my spouse is military and he's up for orders, and I have two fully functional, fully operational service businesses that are based in St. Petersburg, Florida. And if he ends up having to relocate, then that will be something that I will have to face as a business owner, and a challenge that I will be, confronted with. That it's great to hear that somebody has successfully navigated those challenges. And hopefully that doesn't happen to me, but if it does, I want my businesses operating without me there, knowing that I have, set the foundation for my team to be successful, that I can just check in every now and then.
Yeah, that would be incredible. And you do have so many options. So keep in mind, it's this or something better. So if you do have to move, that just means there's going to be other doors and other opportunities that are even greater than what you're doing. But there's such a possibility to continue doing what you're doing. And maybe you go back quarterly, or maybe, some FaceTime I believe is important, and beyond just Zoom or being on the phone, but it doesn't have to be even every month, depending on how far you are from that location. Luckily, my spa's in San Diego, I'm in Las Vegas. So it's such a quick flight out there that I can go every 4 weeks, and it's really not a big deal. But depending on where you potentially end up, if that happens, there's so much room for possibility for you. And if you've done everything you've done up to this point already, you can replicate that and make it even bigger too. So there's so many options for you.
Right on.
Yeah, I love that. Good for you. I love hearing other women who are navigating this and really growing their dream business. And sometimes that does look like taking a step back. And a lot of people didn't talk about that for a really long time. It was always in the treatment room, in the treatment room, in the treatment room. And I realized I was able to do more work on my business when I wasn't in my treatment room with clients, every day, all day. So that kind of slowly transitioned. And then, as I had my first baby, my second baby, I kind of lowered my hours in the room. But when, COVID happened, that was one of the blessings for me, was I saw how successful I could be running my business and not actually have to be there. And I always felt like I had to be there or it was all going to fall apart. So learning to be a good leader and really have systems and policies in place and really good communication and really elevating yourself elevates your team. So the more work I do on myself and the more I grow, it is such a reflection in everybody I work with. It's awesome. I really appreciate that part of, I'm a big believer of mentorship, and obviously I run a mentorship, but that's the biggest piece for me that's benefited my business, is doing that self-work to be able to watch my team grow and thrive.
Yeah, I love that. And that's another thing too, like as we graduate, as we start out in our businesses as solo estheticians, or we go work for somebody, it's like we have one thing that's really prominent with me right now is like I've created a job for myself and I need to create a business. And
yes,
that's the transition. I feel like once you hit that 10K month, like you have that job, you have that solid income. And that's when you need to start really considering transitioning into a business owner instead of just working the job that you've created for yourself. And that's where I was at this year. And that's where the transition changed for me.
Yeah. And that's such a big piece. And thank you for mentioning that for everybody who is watching. It's, important because our bodies can't sustain what we do fresh out of school for the rest of time. And neither do I believe that we should do that, especially if you have family around or kids or, things that you want to do in this lifetime. We can't work, just solely in that treatment room. And it does, I love it, but it also does take a toll on your body, like my wrists feel it, doing lashes for years and doing all the different facials. And I had to stop waxing at a certain point pretty early on because I'm like, my back is gonna, like, I couldn't lean over the table anymore. I'm super tall. I'm like, I can't do this. This is not sustainable. So it is important that we find the ways that we can build up the industry, do, what we love, but not have to be in the treatment room 40 hours a week to make that work. And then a lot of people, this is something I'm diving into right now as well. A lot of people in our industry don't look beyond this week or this month. So there's not a lot of talk about retirement or about how you're setting yourself up financially for success later. So that's something that I'm going to be rolling out a program later this year to help women in the beauty industry really save and be prepared financially, and for their kids to be, prepared. And that's part of, my belief in the whole Legacy Collective, which is my mentorship program, is that we can really leave behind a legacy and not just be beauty professionals.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's really important. And it's more important coming from women in business to women in business too, because like you said, being a mom, having done it, having the experience and the knowledge and the know-how, and seeing past, like you said, that month or that 2-month goal is so important. And it's so hard to do when you're in the daily in that job that you've created for yourself. So it is really important to keep preaching that and to keep sharing that information. So I appreciate that too.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's crazy how fast, like I'm doing these eye masks. I'm like, oh, I'm getting old. My allergies are making my eyes all puffy. But I literally it's so wild to me. I drove back to San Diego yesterday my lease was up on my car, and I've been working with the same car guy for a million years, and he goes to my spa. So I drove out yesterday with my husband, and it was so crazy to have that conversation because I met him like right after I bought my spa at 23. And now like he's got 3 kids, I've got 3 kids. Like, it's just like, wow, time has I feel like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I felt like it was yesterday that I met him and, got my first car with him. And here I am on like my 5th car with him, and I've owned my business for 14 years. I'm like, where did the time go? Like, it is crazy to me how quickly it goes. And I've really built a life I love and I enjoy, and I want to do even more of that and just be so present with my family. But it's so important because nobody was having these conversations 14 years ago about your body, and longevity, and how to leave a legacy and how to create wealth. And we in this industry are so capable of doing that. We just need to have the right mindset and know where to put the money and how to do it. So it's going to be big. It's going to be a really, big shift for everybody. And I'm really excited about it.
What do you suggest for the girls who are like new solo, like ready to go out, ready to get started? What kind of, I guess, strategies should they start implementing now?
Do you mean for building their business, or do you mean more on like the financial side?
Both.
I would start now, putting into I wish when I first bought my spa, somebody had this conversation with me of start now and build, even if it's $50 or $100 a month, putting into some form of retirement. But I will be launching some more programs later this year that fully talk about this, but it's never too small of a number, and start now because it only compounds and adds value to your retirement plan. And really, I just think it's not something that's talked about enough. So a lot of people don't even realize, and we kind of rely on, you know, if we get married or our spouse, do they have something? So it's important that we are educating ourselves and we know the different possibilities. And even like my business, for example, we now offer a retirement plan that we match for our team. So for new people starting out, there are a lot of options, even if you don't go solo day one. But if you work with somebody, take advantage of that, because I do have some people who are not signed up for it, and they're literally leaving free money on the table because we're matching what they're putting into their retirement. So definitely get some financial consulting would be helpful, or even just start your own IRA and put what you can away a month. And it makes a difference on your taxes, but it just compounds. Like, had I done that 14 years ago, that would be probably $20,000, $30,000 that I'd have set aside that I don't have right now because I didn't do that. So, and I have other things now that I'm doing through my business, but I wish I would have had this conversation 14 years ago and started even putting away, if it was a small amount, but putting something away.
Got it. If anybody else wants to turn on their mic or come on
yes,
camera.
we have 11 people here. Pop on, ask questions. I also have some insight for Mother's Day, just to remind everybody to start prepping for that. So we can also talk about that today. But while you guys are on here live, do you have any questions for me? Take advantage of this time. I'm so here for it. Anybody? Thank you, Athena. I love chatting with you. That was a great conversation.
I'll say something. I'm a new esthetician, and I struggle with figuring out how to create enough content so that I can get it on Insta and my Facebook, and it not seem like I'm just posting about, well, I'm going to be here and here's my photos. I guess there's a piece that I'm missing. I don't know. So any help coming up with creating different ideas so that I can stand out and not just look like the same people that are posting, you know, their own work.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's kind of two sides to this. So one is just don't try your best to not put too much weight into this piece, because with time you'll naturally grow in this. And there's a lot of ideal clients who are not on social media, who are not finding you through Instagram or Facebook. So just keep that in mind too. It's a great avenue, but just make sure it's not your only avenue that you're working to grow your clientele. And then when you are posting, people love to get to know you. They love your story. So talking about why you're an esthetician, what you're passionate about. Yes, before and afters are great. For sure. And make sure on your social media that it's really accessible to your booking website, because people want instant access. So if they find you and it's 10 o'clock on a Sunday, they want to be able to schedule with you. So make sure that's all really accessible. And then you can also recycle content too, and just change what your angle is about. You know, maybe it's the same photo, but maybe you're saying something different. But I encourage you to really make it a space where people get to know you, because I find that clients are looking for somebody that they're a match with on not just, you know, from the treatment room perspective, but also a match with you. Like they feel like they get to know you through your social media, and they feel like they can be friends with you, and they see the results that you're offering, and then they want to book with you. So capitalize on sharing your story, and, you know, talk about aesthetic school, talked about what you learned, talked about, you know, why you're doing this, what your mission is, what your passion is, who your ideal client is. And then you'll literally speak to that client and they'll feel compelled to come in and see you. Does that give you some ideas at all?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, of course. And social media is big, but I, in all honesty, built my entire business without it, because 14 years ago, we weren't all on Instagram and Facebook every day. And I'm an old soul, and I'm just now like getting to the point of building any social media presence, because I resisted it for a really long time. So I encourage you to absolutely stay consistent. So even if that's a couple times a week, stay really consistent in your posting, but don't make it a focal point of like, oh, 7 days a week I have to do this, and then you're stressed out by it. So try and make it something fun, inviting, and make sure the clients know what you're offering. I find that a lot when I look through people's, like girls that I mentor, women that I mentor, I'll look at their pages and I don't even know what they're offering. So make sure it's really clear what you're offering and how to schedule with you. That's so helpful.
Do you have a book it button on your Instagram?
I believe so. I'll have to double check that, but yes, to the best of my ability, I've done that with every post, and even on Google My Business, it'll have add a button for book now or call.
Good for you.
or
Yeah, that's
something like
great.
that.
And even posting reviews, you mentioned Google, even taking some of those reviews and popping it into Canva and a cute little 5-star with their review, even putting out there what other people are saying about you is so helpful to form that relationship with your future client.
Thanks. And I tell you what, Google My Business, they have a spot there where it's updates, and I have just recently found that and have really been loving it. And I hope that's going to help me in the future. And I also love the adding photos. So I've been going crazy, and I think right now I've got 25 photos. So maybe I'm doing too much, but I'm trying to.
No, I think that's, yeah, if you're loving it, I think that's great. And for people to see your place and what you're offering, that's going to be huge for them.
It's kind of a nice break from social media, going to the Google My Business or whatever they're calling it today.
Yes, no, I love that. Good for you. And yeah, it's important we're really consistent with all these different avenues. And some of that is writing thank you cards. Some of that is picking up the phone and calling past clients and checking in. Some of that is posting consistently, networking within your local community. So there's a lot of different avenues. Excuse me, I have the worst allergies out here. There's a lot of different avenues. Just make sure you're not only staying and focused on one. Just really take the time to kind of walk through and do all of them.
I have a question.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Anisha here. Sorry, I can't turn my camera on because I don't look camera ready.
You're so cute. It's Sunday. That's okay. I have eye masks on.
Okay. All right. So I just graduated esthetician school, and I was, a little hesitant in going out there. I still have a full-time job, which, I like my benefits, so I'll keep that intact for now. But I still work as a solo esthetician. I did open my spa on the 24th of February. It's not as fast, but guess what? It's not discouraging because I think I love what I don't think, I know I love what I do. So I don't let it discourage me. Or sometimes, when some people are posting their success, some people get really discouraged, but because I know what I'm going towards, and I look forward to the ending and not the beginning, it really pushes me to get there. So I want to ask now, in your opinion, what are your thoughts on promoting on what's it called again? Groupon.
Yeah, I
trying to get clients through the door, because again, I'll have clients I'll have a client every day, like one client a day, which I appreciate a lot. Again, I don't rely on social media for, as you said, I don't rely on social media for, getting people through the door. I never ran a promotion. I haven't done one just yet, but I want to get the right people in the doors of my business, the ones that will come and stay. And I know sometimes people are, a little hesitant in terms of when they speak about Groupon, they're just wanting to come in for a one-time service just because of the price and not come back. But I think it's just the experience that you offer them with the price that will make them return. So I just want to know, what are your thoughts on promoting yourself on Groupon, and what are your tactics that you'd suggest that, will get me people coming in through the doors?
Yeah, for sure. So I ran a Groupon when Groupon first came out. I mean, this is probably like 10 years ago, and we didn't make a lot of money off of it per se, but it got 2 of the estheticians that were working for me, like super booked up. And what happened was they built so much confidence because all of a sudden they went from seeing 1 or 2 clients a day to seeing, 4 to 6 clients a day. And they just were really excited about building their business. And when you pair, getting that client in with offering incredible education and really explaining why they need to come back in and what the benefits are, and talking about your retail and really educating, so you're offering such a superior service, then you can retain some of those people. We still have some of our clients today that came into us from Groupon 10 years ago. And then there's always the Groupon shopper, but that could be any client that comes in on a new client special, or, there's always going to be people who either only like to come in once a year or twice a year, or they like to shop around a lot. And that's okay.
Right.
Those are kind of space fillers, so I don't mind that. But if you decide to go that route, I would definitely make sure that you are providing that same level of service as if somebody was coming in and getting your highest end luxury facial and paying cash for it. So that way the customer really feels valued, appreciated. And when you educate them, that's where you start to build the relationship with them. So that's such a big piece of the facial, and your confidence will shine through. And there is also the alternative of you running like your own Groupon, where maybe you take your current client list and you say, hey, I'm going to sell you, Mother's Day is coming up, and end of the school year. And a lot of teachers like gift cards into spas. Say, I'm going to sell you $100 or $150 gift card for $25 or $50, and basically sell it at a way reduced price. And then they get to give it to somebody to come in and get that full value. So it's essentially like creating your own similar concept. Like it's a little bit lower price point, but now instead of you splitting it with Groupon, you're getting, you're actually keeping all that funds. So that's not a bad idea either. We've done that before.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
When we launch new estheticians, they come in, they train first, and then they come in on the floor to see clients. And I'm all about, there's people who are like, don't discount anything, charge your worth. Well, when they're brand new out of school, I've trained them for 3 months and now they're ready to see clients. Now I just really need them to experience all different skin types and to build their confidence with full days, and to really get the flow of being booked, and to increase how they talk about retail. And their education only gets better the more that they do it, the more that they practice. So for me, I don't mind doing, like a model call and doing half off a service, or running an in-house Groupon. We haven't done actual Groupon in a really, really long time, like probably since they first came out. And that's a lie. Let me clarify. I actually have a Groupon up right now, but for my sauna. So we do run a Groupon for my sauna that we've had up for years, and that draws new people into my sauna, and then we can convert them into facial clients, massage clients, chiropractic clients. But I don't offer any services for Groupon. I haven't done that in a really, really long time. But if you do it, it's just about focusing on that retention. It's also about, can you run something similar with your current client list? Like, how many clients do you currently see a month? Do you know that number?
I do. I see probably like 7 clients a month, really.
Awesome. So that's a start. And imagine if each one of them brought in one person. So now you're at 14.
Right.
And I always tell my clients that I work with in mentorship and coaching, I literally built my business at 23, fresh out of beauty school. I graduated when I was 22, and I built my entire business off like 5 clients, like literally 5 people. And one referred me, I'm not kidding, like 8 people, and they all still come into my spa today. Another girl referred me 5 people. Another girl referred me 1. And slowly those referrals referred me people. And it was this compound effect of this small starting point, and I was there full time. I didn't have a backup job. I was, responsible for half my rent with my boyfriend at the time, and was scary, right? Like, I'm like, how am I going to pay for all this? Like, how is this going to unfold? And I was making like a 20% commission when I first started, so it wasn't much. And it went from this small little group of clients and just expanded out rapidly. And as that was happening was when I ended up purchasing my spa, because I could see I was building a business for somebody else, and I really wanted to build my own business. So it worked out really well that one of the owners was moving and wanted to leave, and that's how that transition happened. But it all started with that 5 or 7 clients, like just like where you're at today. And I can tell you have the confidence piece, and I can tell that you're probably really great with communicating with your client. So you just need bodies in the door. So I would market to your current clients for referrals. I would run like an in-house Groupon with them, like especially for Mother's Day. Maybe take your luxury facial and say, hey, I'll give you a gift card for the full value for this facial, and it's only going to cost you $50, or, just to get new people in the door. And then when you wow them, you're going to retain everybody. You'll have a high probability of keeping all of those referrals. And I truly find that the clients I really love, and I just love my time with them, that they're hanging out with more people that I really love. Like, it's just the way it works. So when you take clients you already love and you get referrals in the door, naturally, they're going to just be more people that you adore, and it's a good fit for your business. Does that make sense?
Yes. So I took that from I want to, as you suggested, I'm going to try and run the Groupon in-house with the current clients that I have. And really and truly, since I started in February, all the clients that I had in March and for April so far are rebooked clients.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I really, really appreciated what, the support that they gave me and the chance that they gave me, because it really is not just about the money yet for me. That's just how I think about it right now, because I know I'm not going to be making money right now. I just want to give them the experience so that they can tell people about me and come back as well. So yeah, I'll take that away from what you just said earlier. Run the promotion in-house with my current clients and see if that can bring me more people coming in.
Yeah, you never know. You might have one person who's like, oh yeah, I'll buy 5 of those gift cards. And then all of a sudden that's 5 new people and they've only paid, say you do $50 each. And yes, it's a little bit discounted, but it's cheaper than paying for advertising. Running ads on social media is expensive and there's no guaranteed return. So at least if somebody's paying you for a gift card, that person's either going to come in or you just got $50 and the person never comes in. But most often, if it's that kind of situation, they'll come in,
Okay. I'm gonna print those gift cards this week.
Do it, girl. I'm excited for you. I'm such a big believer on, everything that you said. I love so much because you're here for the impact. You're here to showcase what you're offering. And yes, I'm also here for the money, but those pieces have to come first. Like we have to really be dedicated to our business and what we're doing and what our mission is before the money comes. And so I love that you're building a business you truly stand behind, and your clients will appreciate that. And you can tell that already because they're rebooking. And there's a lot of people who have very low rebooking rates. So for you to be rebooking everybody every month is huge. Like you're doing awesome. So congratulations on that.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. All right. That's it from me.
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else have some questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, I'm fairly new too. I'm a solo esthetician. And recently I've been doing like a lot of vendor shows and pop-up events. The thing I've been struggling with is trying to find more of like an interactive way to how do I want to put it? Like, okay, so for my first vendor show, what I had planned to do, someone suggested was like $10 10-minute facials. But the problem that I ran into is people don't want to sit for 10 minutes to get a facial. And just the amount of products I would have to use and just
that's a challenging one. Yeah, that's not even enough time.
So that whole plan just didn't work in my favor. So my next one isn't until June. As of right now, it could change, but so I have time to come up with some more creative ways to have more of that interactive factor when they come to my table, rather than to just, stand there and talk to them and, have the products out. But I really want to have that, like that one-on-one interactive, component when they come to the table. And I'm just struggling to find other ways to, advertise that for my service.
Yeah, I think if you're at an event, the first thing that comes to me is, well, twofold. One is, those like wheels that they spin and then you can write in a prize on each one. Those things attract people like across the room, and they see it and they'll come over because they want something free or they want to win. So we've done really well, and you can even do like a free brow wax or a $50 gift card to come in and see me. Like maybe that's your grand prize, so you can even have like that wheel with different promotions to come in and see you. And then also actually these eye masks that I'm wearing, because I'm having allergies and my eyes are all puffy this morning, but these are like, you can't even really see them because my lighting in here.
Yeah, I can see.
So beautiful. And actually one of my estheticians here in Las Vegas, she used them at a beauty expo and did really, really well with them. So these are XO8 Cosmeceuticals. And what she did, and this worked out so well for her, was she bought the back bar pack of these and did little eye treatments on the clients. And you can either, charge $5 or do it for free, or maybe that's one of your items on the spinny wheel is they get a free eye treatment. but the couple minutes it took her to put them on and to have face-to-face with the client and they could feel her touch, you know, it was just really mild. She wasn't doing a whole facial by any means, but just that time gave her enough time to connect with the person, let them know what she offers. You know, obviously a bridal expo, you're speaking to a bunch of brides or mother of the bride and how to get their skin prepped for the wedding. So it just gave her that few minutes to make a connection with them. And then they filled out, you know, their name and their email to get the treatment done. So then she left the expo with a whole list of people who were interested in her services. And she retained some of those women, and I've been following their journey on her social media, and they've been getting great results, getting ready, you know, their skin ready for their wedding, and they met her at that expo. So I think these draw people in, and obviously I'm a big fan. They work really super well. This is the box. My lights are so bright in here. Can't even really see it, but it's XO8. And then that spinny wheel, people love that. Like, people love a free gift. So even if it's like, you know, one's a chapstick with your logo on it, and, you know, you could have little giveaways, but then when they spin it, they win something. And maybe one is a grand prize that's a little higher value. But that's what, if I were in your shoes and I was going to this expo in June, that's exactly what I would do.
Okay.
Does that help you at all? Do you have any questions about that?
That was good. That was really good suggestions.
Okay, good. Thank you. And if you have any other questions around it, let me know. I'm going to drop the website in here for anybody who wants to look at the eye masks. They have such a great back bar. It's like $85 for 50 masks, which is such a great deal. So I use them at all of my events at my spa. And then obviously I use them personally, but we also retail their retail boxes. It's the little things that make an impact. You know, when your clients try an eye mask, or they have 5 minutes to talk to you, or you educate them on a topic that is something they're concerned about with their skin, that's where you start to make the connection. So it's not always just starting with, oh, let me get you booked, or here, let's get you on the schedule, but it's really just making a connection for what their goals are and what they're looking for. And especially, you know, women coming up for events and weddings, they're looking for brightening and maybe working on acne or scarring that they have. And when you speak to that, it becomes so easy for them to want to schedule with you.
I put a link to the skinny wheel.
Oh, perfect. I love it. Yeah, those things do so well. People like love a good, you know, spin the wheel and get a free prize. Like we use it. Actually, we have an event in May. It's our parade that runs down our street outside of my storefront of my spa. And we use that every year. And we're like the busiest business there because people just want their free, like sometimes it's like the silliest thing, but they don't care. Like they want it, and then they sign up and we get their name and their email. And once you have that contact information, you can follow up with them and shoot an email thanking them for stopping by, and then maybe attach a promotion for them to come in for their first treatment. And keep in mind, a lot of people now, you know, the society we live in, everything is so fast paced that it takes somebody seeing your business multiple times before they schedule. So don't let that mean anything. If you do an event or you send an email and nobody responds the first time, really focus on being consistent, offering value, and then the clients will connect with you and be like, oh my gosh, I've been meaning to book and I keep seeing you and it reminded me, so let me get scheduled today. So just keep consistent. And if you're new, I so encourage that, because I know we're always afraid to, you know, bug the client. I hear that all the time. But as a client myself, like I appreciate when my tan girl is like, hey, do you need a tan? I'm like, oh my gosh, I do. Or my massage therapist reaches out, hey, I have an opening. And I'm like, yeah, I haven't been in 6 months. Like, of course I need to come in. So don't feel bad. Just keep in mind, like, what level of service would you want? And make sure you're providing that. And I know we all want a high level of service, but for some reason, we're just programmed to be afraid to offer that. And part of that service is sales. It's rebooking. It's asking the client, checking in with them. How are they doing? Checking in on their skin the day after their facial or 2 days after. So remember to offer that level of luxury service, and that's going to contribute to you getting booked up quicker and hitting those 10K months. Anybody else have any questions?
If no one else has a question, I have a second one that's come to mind, but I don't want to take away if anyone else has a question.
No, you're perfect. Go for it, please.
Thanks. So what about wholesale and retail? I have a skincare line that I carry. So of course I buy back bar and I buy products at cost and then I retail them. And actually that's saved me quite a few months. When I had no services, I actually made retail in enough to pay a part of the rent since I'm still brand new at this. Then the thought has come to mind about buying different items at wholesale to go along with my product retail. Is that something that should be weighted on, or is that something that I should also actively consider as important as product sales?
And do you mean retail that's different from like skincare? Do you mean other items that you could sell?
Yes, like a face mask that would be, let's say, an LED face mask that, or I don't know, sponges or brushes or something other that would go along with the product, the skincare for facial products.
Yeah, I love the concept of having a really built out boutique. And that's because you can not only do so much with retail as far as sales and what your profits are, but it also adds value for the client. The only thing I would hesitate against is investing heavily into pricey equipment when you don't have your clientele yet, because you really want to make sure that you're bringing in products that match the clientele that you're working with. So if that is the ideal client you want, is somebody who's more age management, they've got higher disposable spending, they're going to invest in buying an LED mask for at home, then yeah, you can make the investment now. But I would probably start with some lower price things, build my clientele, really focus on building up my clientele, and then do an event. Like in June, I'm doing a beauty event. I'm inviting all of our top clients, and we're, basically it's like a boutique / peel party. So people could shop the boutique for a discount. They can, get a peel. We're doing eye treatments that night with these masks. And, so that kind of event could serve you really well. Once you start getting some clients in, then you host an event and maybe launch your LED mask at that point, or launch your higher ticket items when you know you have the clientele there to support it, and you can make it really exciting, do some live demos, and then sell them for a small discount or maybe a gift with purchase. And then that way you're getting your clients excited about it when you already have the clientele. I just would hate to see you invest. A lot of people buy different LED handhelds or masks, and then they end up sitting on their shelf, and then they switch gears to something different and they end up giving those away. I've seen that from a lot of estheticians. So just be mindful that you're really bringing in something that's going to be a perfect match for your clients if you go that route before building the clientele. Does that make sense at all?
It does. And
Okay.
I do understand what you're meaning by have the client base built up. So that is important. That's kind of, it's easy to look at something shiny and flashy.
It is. And then there's all the like, oh, buy this and you'll get 5 and get 1 free. And, it's easy, especially with the shows, to want to do that. And I'm not saying not to, but I've also seen the flip side where a lot of women I work with are like, okay, I have all these, light stims or all these on my shelf. What do I do with them? And, for me, selling equipment's been fairly easy, but I also have the clientele first. So then I'm able to sell to them. So, I don't want to see somebody make a big investment where that investment could be better made possibly somewhere else. And I do really well with some of my smaller retail. Like we sell CBD bath bombs that I barely could even keep on the shelf. Like they fly off the shelf. And those aren't this huge investment for you, but they're still adding to your profit margin.
And that was my next question. Thank you for heading that direction. Do you have any suggestions on some low cost things to buy at wholesale than to retail? So I know you said the CD bath bombs. Do you have any other thoughts, or even companies? I mean, I don't know about Alibaba and DHgate or things like that, but I was just thinking something that a small business person could actually access on a wholesale level and it not be terribly costly.
Yeah. So the bath bombs, and of course I'm drawing a blank. I do this every time. I don't know why I can't remember the name of these things. I'm going to see if my spa manager, I think I texted her last time I was asking. Let's see. I'm going to have to find this for you.
I can put it
it's Kush Queen is the bath bomb, but so you have that. And then the other thing I was going to mention is Fair. You can create a website through Fair and you can order, and they don't have high minimums on there. So that's where you can get some of your candles or some of your other things to sell at a lower price point. And a lot of things on there are 6 or 10 minimums. You don't need to go buy $1,500 of candles to sell, you could buy a small quantity and do some bath bombs, some candles, some robes, and then also have your really good skincare. These are one of my best seller. I do work with XO8, but I wish my lighting was better in here. XO8 Cosmeceuticals, I carried their products for over 2 years before I started working with the company. And I only started working with them because I love them so much. I reached out and gave them a list of reasons why they should hire me. And here I am working with them. But I say that because I really stand behind the products. I don't push them because I work there. I really love the eye masks. These are $15 my cost, and I sell them for $39, and they fly off the shelf. So when I'm doing a client and then they're buying a serum and then they're buying eye masks and they're stocking up, it really does add to the profit margin to have several different price points they can pick from, for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And
Yeah,
any
of course.
other, links if you think of them. And it was Kush, Kush.
Yep, correct. And I'm going to pull up, have you been on Fair ever?
I put them in the chat.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Thank you, Maria. Yeah. So Fair is the Kush Queen. We just do incredibly well with the bath bombs. Then I sell several different skincare lines that don't have minimums. So I'm able to really select what products I bring in. But I have some from PCA, H2T. I love their pumpkin peel in the treatment room. I use XO8 Cosmeceuticals. And then Fair, you can get some fun stuff as well, which we'll be bringing in for our beauty event. They actually have like the really cute, like for tea or for coffee, like the little packets that are like I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like the glitter bombs you add into your tea or coffee. So they have a lot of cute things like that on there that, women love having these nice little extras to add to their rituals and their routine. And it's something they enjoy. They can buy it as a gift, or, it really benefits us too, because it's adding to the profit margin. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm going to take these off since it's been almost an hour. Time is flying. Now you can see how gorgeous and glowing my eyes are.
Super pretty.
I know. It leaves like gold flecks on your skin. That's why I love them.
Also, because somebody said they came in here late, you will get the replay in the newsletter. I try to get it out as fast as I can, but it's just me, guys.
Yes, thank you, Maria.
Somebody said, hey, I came in late, so I missed the first half in the car. I'm in the car, so I can't turn on the mic. But I was wondering what resources you've used to gain the skin and ingredient knowledge over the years.
Yes,
Any books you recommend, certain sites, or events, conventions you attend?
Awesome. Yeah, and I've gone to like the Vegas show every year for years. That's really great to learn about new equipment, new products.
I'll be for like,
I would say as far as ingredients.
What? Mute. Okay.
Okay. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
So I would say as far as ingredients go, I would connect with the companies that you're working with. So whoever you're carrying for back bar, I would connect with them and take their education courses they offer. So that's going to be such a great way for you to learn about product knowledge, ingredients, how their products work, because keep in mind, ingredients can be different based on how they're formulated throughout different lines. So I really love to take their, each company I work with, I take the education that they provide. And most of the time that's free education. So like XO8, we have a product knowledge certification coming up on the 15th of May. And that's something that all of my new accounts will jump into. It's a free class, and there'll be a promotion also attached at the end, which is always nice to get a discount. But it's so great to really dive into the ingredients that are directly related to the products you're using. So you're not only educated on what you're doing in the treatment room, but you're also educated to educate the client for your retail. So that's going to be the most helpful for sure. There's no specific books. I know there's a million, and Maria, you might have one you recommend, but I'm more of like a hands-on, like I like the classes more so. So I have not read a lot of the ingredient books, but I know there's a lot on Amazon as well.
Totally. I actually really studied, like, for example, like Circadia, they have a Circadia U, Skin Script. I did the Skin Script 101, Glymeds, I do the classes. One of my favorites, I did the MBK Acne Detective. I did another one with the Skin Queen. One was Pretty Skin. I mean, I've taken so many.
Yeah, and that's really, those are all such great options and resources, and they're so helpful because you're getting the hands-on training and you can ask questions. So it's nice versus a book, there's not that interaction. Not to say don't read a book, but I found, I worked with a hands-on mentor when I first got licensed. So that's where I really learned about the skin and how to do extractions and started learning about ingredients. But the deep dive on the ingredients with each company is so informative and will offer you so much value, because you'll find that's the information you end up talking about to your client in the treatment room to educate them. And it becomes such a natural connection to have that conversation with your client.
I'm like, anyone else?
Any other questions?
We have like 5 more minutes.
Yeah, and I can give you guys even, think of any questions and pop on. I also have, let me pull back up my little cheat sheet. Oh, go ahead, Maria.
I put it in the link. If you guys want to book a one-on-one 15-minute conversation with Miss Jessica, she's so generous with her time, you guys. So honestly, like, what?
Yes, I'm so here to help everybody grow their business, and not just grow your business, but really create something sustainable and grow a business that feels as good as it looks from the outside. So it's not just about the 10K or 20K months, but it's about really building something that makes you happy and that you love what you're doing, and you still have that quality time for your own desires and what you want to do in your life. So I'm so here for that. And coming up, we have Mother's Day, and I encourage everybody to really start now. If you haven't, start promoting Mother's Day. Make sure your specials are not too complicated. Make sure that they're really accessible. So, if you have a link tree or a booking link, make sure people know exactly how they can purchase gift cards or purchase whatever specials you're offering. So people find you online, that it's a really easy shopping experience for them. I find that gift cards for a flat rate amount do super well. So we do like $100 gift card for $85 for Mother's Day, and we'll probably do, I don't know, maybe $4,000 or $5,000 in gift cards for that. And that's something that works really well for us, because then the client's still coming in and, typically they want to upgrade or get, additional services, or some people buy them 2 gift cards, so they have a $200 value. So it's a really great offering. You also can do it by service. You can come up with 1 or 2 signature Mother's Day services and have that be your promotion. And another way that's worked well for us as well is we have a retail bundle that's preset, that's good for all skin types. And we discount that down only about $20, but we sell a ton of those because it's the bundle series and it's packaged really cute. And then people can buy a gift card, buy the serums, and give it to the mother in their life for, it's all packaged really cute. And then that's a really great Mother's Day gift. So definitely look at some retail, see if you want to do some sort of bundle with that. But gift cards, I so encourage everybody right now to market to your current clients, your past clients. Let the local businesses in your community know what you're offering. I find the moms Facebook groups are really a great way to promote what you're offering as well. So a lot of those groups will let you promote once a week or once a month. Just look at what their rules are and promote in there as well. And then just networking with other women in the beauty space. You can find somebody who does only hair, and maybe you guys run a Mother's Day promotion advertising each other. Or we used to have a florist in our parking lot. And for years, we did a gift card and a dozen roses and had like a package price for it. So there's definitely ways to network with the local businesses that will gain you new clients that maybe hadn't visited your spa previously. So I hope that's helpful, and you guys can kind of look and see, what promotions work for you and start talking about them tomorrow. Like, start advertising Mother's Day right now.
We also have the chat going on, and Jessica's in there helping everybody. And I was like, I encourage you guys to get the conversation started, because that's why it's created. I really want to make sure that you guys are feeling supported and that you guys are getting the answers, obviously to the best of our ability. But I'm so passionate, obviously, about you guys getting the help. That's why we're here.
Yeah, and thank you, Maria, for doing that. And she speaks to such a great point that if you have the question, definitely ask it. It's going to serve you to ask it and get some great answers. And sometimes those answers will just really stimulate you coming up with even more of your own answers and get ideas and get really excited about the direction you're going. So don't hesitate. Don't, if you're new, if you've been doing this for 10 years, whatever the case is, if you have questions or thoughts or ideas, absolutely pop in. And that's what Maria and I are both in there, is to support you and make sure this is a really successful Mother's Day for all of you. We really want everybody to thrive.
I would love for you. Okay, May 1st to May 31st, we're going to screenshot our numbers, because even if you make an extra $200 this month, that's such a big success. Hopefully you make more, but let's push gift cards in the chat. I put like verbiage for your newsletter. You guys can also use it as posts. And then Jessica's now helping a ton. And then tomorrow, join us for the live on the Mother's Day facial.
Yes, tomorrow. That's going to be so good, Maria. We have Stacy Wall, who is absolutely incredible. She's going to do nano infusion. She's also going to be using her microcurrent machine, our 24 karat gold masks from XO8, our full face sheet mask. It's going to be such a beautiful luxury treatment, and we'll talk about how to price it, how to sell it. You'll get to see the actual treatment. So make sure everybody who's listening to pop on live tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for that live. It's going to be so good.
Perfect. And then I encourage you guys to book the 15-minute call. This will also be sent out via newsletter. And we're also doing this again the end of May. So yay.
Awesome. Well, thank everybody. Any last questions before we pop off? You guys all feeling good? And I love what Maria, you just said about the full month of May, everybody like screenshotting and staying really in tune with their numbers. And I just recently started 75 hard, which is like working out every day for, 2 45-minute workouts, which has nothing to do with skincare per se, but it's so interesting when you set a goal like that and you're really in tune with it, how easy it becomes to just increase your awareness around it. And I was always running around like, I have no time. Well, now I'm fitting those workouts in, like not even an issue. So if you're focused on your numbers, you're going to find the time to do the marketing, to reach out to past clients. You're going to stay really consistent because you're holding yourself accountable with those numbers every day. So I love that idea, Maria. And I encourage everybody to really, take May and make that your month of growth, and just watch your numbers every day and see where you're at and reach out to clients, make sure you're consistent, and then you'll see the payback for that.
How often do you recommend using the eye mask?
I mean, you can use them every day, like I try to, but you can use them, some of my clients use them a couple times a week. Some clients will buy a box and stretch that out over, until they see me again in 4 weeks. But like this whole area was so puffy this morning, and I had a straight line here I must have slept on the side, and you could see like where I get a line right there. And it's literally gone just from me doing those eye masks. And I actually have my makeup on and I put them on, and just to get like a little extra glow and tightening, or you can do them on your clean, dry skin and then do your night routine afterwards.
Totally.
And they're in the link is in the chat for the mask, right?
Yes. Yeah. And you can also DM me. I can help you with that as well, but they're phenomenal. Like, honestly, I cannot speak any higher about them. Okay, I was like, I can't go on camera with this huge line down my face. So they were amazing.
And I encourage you guys to keep the chat going. So if you guys need extra support, there is a chat for the Mother's Day facial. So this is like my dream, is to have continuing support, like while it's actually going. So let's sit and think and regroup. Feel free to also post in the group so you get support. So make sure that this is one of your most profitable months, and then next month be profitable, and next month be profitable. So
yeah, absolutely. And I'm so here for that, and quick questions. And if anybody feels that they want to go deeper and want to walk in mentorship, it's something I'm a huge advocate of. I bought my spa and hired my first mentor the next month, and it was life-changing. I'm so grateful I did, or my business probably would not still be here. And we've been able to make it through being shut down for a year with COVID and still be standing and stronger than ever. So if anybody listening really feels that they need more and they want more one-on-one time, I have a group mentorship that also offers one-on-one within the group capacity. And it's a really great program. The women in there are completely thriving. We talk about all the different ways to grow your business. We work through, past traumas or anything that's kind of holding you back. A lot of times it's wiring from when we were a kid, or things that we've kind of carried with us for years that prevent us from really making the moves that we want to. So if anybody in here is seeking more guidance, mentorship, and really, really wants to expand both personally and your business. I do have space in there for 3 more people right now. And that is just a really great program. It's trainings live every month. 1 Zoom per quarter is a free Zoom for you, private one-on-one. And then we also mastermind twice a week. So it's a really great program to ask your questions, get real-time answers, and move through things to start building your business quicker. So just for being in this group, it's $100 off your monthly membership. And that'll expire at the end of this month. So let me know if anyone has questions. You can use that 15-minute Zoom to see if it's a really good fit for you, or feel free to DM me directly. My inbox is always open and I'm always here to help you guys.
Perfect. I appreciate you. You're so awesome. Thank you for all your
Yes.
expertise.
Thank
your
you. I'm so glad that you guys all came on
drive.
today, and thank you so much. And I look forward to connecting with you again soon.
Alrighty, bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.